I'm Megan Tyra, and my concentration was communications with an emphasis in cinema, digital media, production, and I graduated in 2007. Currently, I work at Disney. I'm the Director of Production Strategy in our Creative Marketing Production Department. I think the aspect of my job that I love the most is being able to collaborate with so many different people on a day-to-day basis and use my skill set to creative problem solve. My journey to my position today is kind of all over the place. I actually started as a hairstylist. Was doing hair with a friend of mine who was a year ahead of me, and she was doing makeup. And so we traveled around for a summer and a semester working on independent feature films and commercials and photo shoots and whatnot. And I just loved it, but I always knew that I wanted to pursue my degree as well. So came to Vanguard, communications major, got to discover a lot of things here at Vanguard and made a lot of friendships. And a friend of mine really got me into editing while I was here. And so when I graduated, I started working as an editor, video editor. And through there, just made connections, worked at a couple different production studios doing editing, and then worked my way into producing and took a sidestep into visual effects and back to commercial production. And I actually got a call randomly one day from somebody at ABC, and they said that they had an opening for a producer on their team. So I came in and I did that on a contract basis, and then a position opened up and a few months later. And so I accepted a position there at Disney, and I've been there for about 6 or 7 years now. Kind of morphed into what I'm doing now. So I've been there for a while, and my job has evolved a bit since I've been there. So one particular thing that I've been very proud of since graduating at Disney, I was able to develop and lead a program called the Women's Production Program, which was meant to provide opportunity for young women that were just graduating college to know what a career in creative marketing was. For me, I had no idea growing up, or even in college, that a career in creative marketing production existed. So what this program did was we had a call for submissions for college-age students and young women, and we selected 10 finalists. We flew them to Los Angeles. I hosted a panel with some of our creative marketing executives, and they were able to ask questions of these women that were working in that industry. And then these 10 women were able to pitch ideas for a current show to a room full of marketing executives. And one of those was selected, and that finalist, we fully produced her spot, and it ended up being our season 2 launch campaign, and it aired recurring on the ABC network. And it was a big success, and that was something I was really proud of. Looking back at the journey that I've had and the steps that I've taken and the opportunities that have been provided for me, it's very clear that God has been in control the whole time. Did I know that going into it, or have a vision of landing at Disney and doing what I'm doing now? Absolutely not, because I had no idea this existed. But he's definitely guided my path and afforded me some really wonderful opportunities. One professor here at VU that I will never forget is Dr. Carmody, because that class, Media Crit, was a difficult class, but I don't know if we still do that here today. Yep, everybody's shaking their heads. That was a really tough class, but you felt really, really proud once you were done with that paper. And I will never forget that paper and all the hard work going into that. I'm sure all the students here understand that as well. Professor Ann Karen Cleveland was a huge impact on me as well. I think coming into the entertainment industry and it seemingly being just, bombarded by males, seeing her as a really strong, competent, confident, intelligent woman that was able to hold her own on a technical basis was just really inspiring. So her and Olivia Klaus was another one that I definitely remember. And although not a comm professor, Dr. Tyra had a class, an ethics in the media class. I think that's what it was called. And that was really, really a wonderful class as well. I made some of the best friends that I'm still friends with to this day. My brother is 4 years older than me, and he was a student here at Vanguard as well. And so he had a lot of friends that I mooched onto, and they were a few years ahead of me, so they had a lot of knowledge and experience, and I learned a lot from them. So just nurturing and developing those friendships was really, really special to me. Going into the entertainment industry can be daunting, but I have found that putting your faith and your hope and your trust in God has been the thing that's gotten me through it and gotten me to where I'm at today. And I can't imagine being in this industry without having that confidence. So you may not know where you're going to want to go, what you're going to want to do, but just keep moving and just keep knocking and taking any opportunity that you can to work in the industry, because every single thing that you can glean and every bit of experience that you can take in will help you eventually, because I think having a working knowledge of just everything that you can in the industry is going to make you a well-rounded person, and that seems to be something that makes people very successful. So take in what you can. Some advice that I would have for junior and senior comm majors would be to make as many friendships that you can while you're here, because you will graduate, everybody will graduate, and you'll go out into the world, and this industry, for as big as it is, can be rather small. So having those friendships that you can network with once you're out of school is really, really important. And I've worked with plenty of my friends from Vanguard, and that has really helped to make my career. And it's just really nice to have those that support system built in once you get out of Vanguard. And also, I would say utilize as much equipment as you can while you're here when you have access to it. It gets very expensive to rent all this gear once you're out of school. And having a working knowledge of every single thing, every aspect of production that you can, if that's what you're going into, is really valuable. So if you're going into production, having a working knowledge of post-production, and vice versa, post-production, knowing how what you're editing and working on is made, is really, really important. So just having a broad, use this time to really get a broad knowledge of every single thing that you can. I will say that I am very blessed to have the most supportive family, with my mom and dad and my brother, just all being super supportive and encouraging, and also challenging to take risks, and again, trust that God has got you and he will take care of you. And that's been the biggest takeaway for me, and something that every day I think of is that I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the support of my family and friends, but without God's guidance and provision. And there were definitely some scary times in a career where, as a young person, you're getting out there and you're freelance, and that means hustle. You're trying to get jobs and you're trying to make connections, and you never know where your next job is going to come from. And that can be really, really scary, but do that while you're young when you don't have a lot of things that you're paying for. But that's very, very scary, and not knowing what is going to happen with your career really forces you to trust God. And, again, without having that in me, I think I would have been too scared to move. So being able to take those leaps of faith when you really feel God's calling you to do so, and just to be attentive and listening to where he's calling you. I was working at a place one time, which was fine, and I really felt God saying, it's time to get up and move. And I didn't have a job to go to. I said, okay, I'm going to go back to freelance because I just know that I'm not supposed to be here. And having that sensitivity for God's guidance and direction is really important. But being able to follow through with that, and having the trust and support of family that, hey, do it. And look, if this is not the right move or something happens, we got you. And I'm very, very thankful for that. But yeah, just being able to have that assurance throughout my career has been really, really, really special and helpful.